Welcome, welcome to Living Wealthy. Beyond well-being, the fun begins. This is session number 3. I'm Ronnie B, and I'm here with the Prosperous Divas. And tonight's session, the occurring world of integrity, creating and managing conversations for fulfillment. The energy integrity power builder. The energy integrity power builder. The prosperous divas stand for equality, mutual respect, valuing the unique and divine contribution of others, honoring life in all its wondrous expressions. I like that.
Mm-mm-mm.
I
Ah,
like that.
yes.
I like that.
I'm
I
so
like
glad.
that. I like it that. Now, what are the possibilities and intentions you hear in those words that are in alignment with you living beyond well being? What words are consistent with your deepest and highest desires? See, there's something that may be in alignment with what you're up to. And anywhere you can find that alignment is an opportunity to be empowered. So you want to
Mm.
look for the you don't want to look for replication of what you said because you want to hear the spirit, the intention is being fulfilled. Now, if you cannot tell, I am beyond excited. Diva Robin, over to you.
All right. I'm beyond excited too, Ronnie B. And I want to thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for session number 3 of Living Wealthy. Beyond well-being, the fun begins. It is such a pleasure having you here tonight. I learn about myself from your participation. I get to grow in areas that were hidden from my view, all because of you. And I have one thing tonight that I'm definitely going to share something like that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I share the intention of the seminar, let me introduce the rest of the Prosperous Divas. Diva Nikki, thank you for being here. What is the occurring world you are creating for yourself and the participants tonight?
Thank you, Diva Robin. And hello, everyone. And for me, what is in the current work for me and what I'm creating for myself and others tonight is mastering my emotions so that I can master my life and have fun in co-creating my desired life.
Wow. I can tell you thought about that. That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Diva Nikki. I am
Thank
aligned
you.
with your intention. And Diva Nakia, thank you for being here. And what is the occurring world you are creating for yourself and the participants tonight?
For myself, I am creating a life full of love, laughter, peace of mind, and full self expression.
Ooh, wow. Lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, totally in alignment with that, Diva Nakia. Thanks for sharing that. Diva Janice, thank you for being here. What is the occurring world you are creating for yourself and for the participants tonight?
Thank you. Robin, tonight I'm elated to own my own destiny. And I realize
Mm,
every day that I get up, I have a choice that's before me. Is my opportunity. Do I give my power away or do I use my collateral and make a difference in the life well, first of all, for me, and then those who are assigned to me. So my occurring world is this. I'm just going to be me and love me for me and
Mm.
help other people understand it's okay to be comfortable in your skin.
Okay. So love, being comfortable in your skin, and what was the third one?
Other folks have to be, in other words, to share the platform, and I'm contextualizing, to share the platform that people have to be genuine with themselves. Number one, I love
Okay.
me. I'm going to give them
Okay.
what I have, and
Okay.
for them to be okay, to be comfortable in their own skin.
Got it. Okay, got it. So so what I heard is the incurring world you're creating is love, people being comfortable in their own skin, and oh my gosh, and now forgot the third one again.
Being fully
In other words,
being fully free and self-express.
Ah, very good.
thank
Okay,
you,
thank you.
Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. Yes,
I
yes.
can't hold more than two things at a time.
That's okay.
Only in your occurring world, my dear.
All right, thank you so much. And Diva Jacqueline, so that was beautiful,
Thank,
Janice. Thank you. And Diva Jacqueline, thank you so much for being here. And please share
of course.
what is the occurring world you are creating for yourself and the participants tonight.
Okay. I am creating an intentional occurring world of what I am doing based on how everything is responding to me. And so, what I want to share with the participants, or the occurring world I want to share with the participants is just being intentional with the awareness of what we are doing or what you are doing that is causing everything around you to respond to you. And that's what's been going on in my occurring world, just realizing how much power I have and stand in that awareness.
Okay. Great. So what I'm hearing is creating the occurring world of intention and power.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. All right. Woohoo.
You
Nice.
even got a
Nice.
ma'am out of
Nice.
that,
Nice.
Robin.
Say that again.
You even got a
Ma'am.
ma'am out of that, Robin.
That's
Yes,
very
ma'am.
cool. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. And then thank you all. And the occurring world I'm creating for myself and the participants tonight is love, ease, and well-being.
Nice.
I want that too.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm in alignment with all of the occurring worlds that everyone created tonight. Thank you. So, moving on, the intention of this seminar is for each and every one of us to create breakthroughs in our ability to create breakthroughs for living wealthy, and specifically for going beyond well-being. And part of that is understanding what lies beyond well-being and how do we gain access to that. So the intention is for every one of us to create breakthroughs in our ability to create breakthroughs for living wealthy and specifically going beyond well-being. And tonight, we invite you to listen powerfully for what is needed and desired for you to have a breakthrough in being whole and complete, honoring your word as yourself as an access to going beyond well-being. I'm going to just say that again because it's so powerful. So we invite you to listen powerfully. Key to listen. How you listen is key for what is needed and desired for you to have a breakthrough in being whole and complete, honoring your word as yourself as an access to going beyond well-being. Now, unfortunately, we can't read all of your emails, chats, and phone messages during tonight's webinar. However, I am going to read a few of your messages, and each diva is going to respond to a different message. So, starting with Cynthia Timmons of Elgin, Illinois. Dear Divas, this is a wonderful program. The conversations have me see why I have all the common sense in the world, but I can't seem to find my soulmate. Ronnie B. and Diva Janice said the results you have are an indicator of your true intentions. That is when it hit me. I say I want a soulmate, but my results say I want what I have. Damn, that blew my mind. Wow, Cynthia, that is so clear. And thank you so much for listening the way you do. Clementine Mayweather is the next participant's message from Omaha, Nebraska. Love you, Divas. My husband and I are in the course, and we were sharing what we had learned with some friends. We were describing the different divas, but when it came to Ronnie B, I struggled. It was funny. I would say the real polite guy who gets in your face, or the old country dude. I couldn't figure out how to describe him, and my husband said, "You mean gentleman." I said, "Yeah, that's it." And everyone started laughing. And it made us think, what is the occurring world that it's strange or different to think of a man as a gentleman? Wow. You can tell they're really thinking about all of the things that they maybe hadn't thought about before. Not all the things, but a lot. And then Deborah Gonzalez from Nashville, Tennessee wrote, the first session blew me away. I loved Russell. He has a warm spirit. I enjoyed the interview, and I am taking the time to look at my energy and health. I would like for one of the divas to share how they use the conversation about the occurring world in business situation or for their profession. I am a realtor. How do I talk to my clients about the occurring world? Or should I even mention it? Wow, Deborah, thanks for your question. And thanks for loving the work we're doing and the interview with Russell. Brenda Muhammad of Detroit, Michigan. Divas, I commend you for how wonderfully you dealt with the email from the young lady in Texas with all the vulgarities. I was surprised you shared it and by your responses. There was kindness and understanding, which the young lady really needed. There was also responsibility, which Diva Nakia and Janice spoke to so eloquently. Sometimes lashing out is a cry for help and understanding. You brought the love, that Jesus Christ love, if you know what I mean. Yep, I think we do, Brenda. Janelle Dixon of Birmingham, Alabama wrote, the exercise where you look at unfulfilled desires and the conversations you make up to keep them unfulfilled was driving me crazy. That is when I saw my conversations for keeping my desires unfulfilled are conversations that drive me crazy. Duh, I distract myself from working on my desires and dreams with crazy conversations like politics, Hollywood secrets, anything but conversations for getting me what I need to really go after my dreams. Thanks, Divas. I am the one causing the distractions in my life, not the government or TV. Wow, so brilliant, Janelle. And Margaret Santiago of El Paso, Texas, she wrote, Divas, it is starting to occur to me For me to go beyond, I need to let go of my girlfriend who criticizes anything I do in the area of transformation or self improvement. There was something Diva Jacqueline said about checking yourself and seeing how much you are being a jerk in the relationship. Well, I am being a jerk tit for tat, and I am tired of this game. I might as well go back to dating men. Well, seriously, I'm a lesbian, and I was pretty much a jerk to the few men I ever dated, so I won't go there. This course is about owning who you are, warts and all. I love it. Good for you, Margaret. Sergeant Belinda Cortez, somewhere Germany. The young lady from Texas really had her panties in a bunch. Made you wonder why she even bothered to listen. I suspect she is getting more out of it than she wants you to know. Your responses to her nastiness was compassion, honesty, and possibility. I am 57 years old, and I have never heard such a high level of professionalism from a group of presenters dealing with someone like her. Don't mess with the prosperous divas. That's right on. So, divas, my fellow divas, I'm giving you 2 or 3 seconds to pick your email that you'd like to respond to. If someone grabs your selection first, please choose another. So, Diva Nikki, you get to choose first. Who would you like to respond? Totally not fair, but go ahead.
But it's not fair that we only get to respond to one. However, it's not all about being fair, right? I'm still going to bring the joy. So I'm going to choose Brenda Muhammad out of Detroit, Michigan. And what I want to share with, no, I take it back, Deborah Gonzalez. That's her one pick out of Nashville, Tennessee. And what I want to share with Deborah, first of all, I too am glad that you loved Russell. He definitely was a pleasure to have with us. You asked for how do we use the conversation about the current world in business situations or for our profession. For me, I constantly tell people to not just tell me what it is they want in the business, because it usually is very narrow with them, like they just want more money, or they just want more clients, they just want more customers, they just want more attention and along with that is, but I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have enough money, I don't have time. This, my thing is, what do you really want? Not just out of the business, but out of life. What is it that you really want? Because when they come to me, they're coming to me to get all the puzzle pieces put together so they can completely solve it and know what everything looks like. Well, from my experience, when you're looking at the current world and it's not looking like how you think it should look with all the puzzle pieces that you have and what you're missing, is you're trying to do the work of the universe and God. So I tell them, I get them to focus on what it is that they want, the vision, and not what they see, what it looks like. Don't focus on what it looks like, but focus on what you see. What it looks like is your current world. What you see is your vision. And you ask, as a realtor, should you talk about it with your clients? I say absolutely. You use the discernment to where and how it fits in, and it'll all come together. Absolutely.
Well said, Diva Nikki. Thank you so much.
Thank
all right.
you.
Yeah, I love what you said. And I love the coaching about getting in deep with your clients and having the work that you do with them make a difference in their whole life, which is what opens up. So it's beautiful. Diva Janice, you get to choose next. Who would you like to respond to?
Well, actually, I have two people. One in particular is the young lady. This is just too inviting for me. One is the young lady who commended Ronnie and myself for our contribution in the conversation. One thing I would say to any person, be it male or female, be true to yourself. Whatever authentic presentation that you bring to the table is what people are going to respect, because there's something about the human spirit. The human spirit rather resonates with what is true. I don't care what is being said in terms of how fluffy it is. If it's just not connecting to the spirit, it's not going to go over. So number one, be true to yourself and love yourself enough to demand something. One thing I've learned is this: if you don't ask for great things, you don't get great things. And the other person that I want to address is regarding I think it's the realtor. Sometimes we're
Actually, that's the
everything.
one that Diva Nikki did. The
Oh, she did
realtor.
that. Okay.
Yes.
This young lady, she resonates with me as well. You got to, you just got to be you when dealing with clients, because it's more than the business transaction, because we're connected to people on deeper levels, and it's a divine order. And once we understand that, then we give a little bit more, we challenge a little bit more, and also we're open to be challenged as well, because as far as I'm concerned, in my own personal businesses, it's an even exchange. People help me to develop, and as well as I'm helping them to develop. And I've learned, and I'll say this briefly, I at some point we all connect because our needs are the same on one level or another. We're looking for acceptance, we're looking for appreciation, we're looking to give our best, we're looking to succeed, which means that we have to be open to the conversations that are taking place in our arena so that we don't miss what the divine order is saying to us in any given moment. So I would say to the young lady who's the realtor, keep giving your best, keep being open, keep being challenged, because that's where your growth and your success is going to come from, that openness in life. So I'll leave it there.
Okay, great. All right, thank you so much. And I actually want to just dovetail briefly on what you just said, Diva Janice, about asking. And I just had this past week a situation where I personally have been coaching a woman who owns a small to medium sized business, and I felt like our exchange had gotten one sided in her favor. And I was afraid, and I really wanted to keep her as a client, but I also was feeling shortchanged a bit. And I love her. That's the other thing. I love this woman. And I went to her and opened up the conversation, and it turned out she actually was about to approach me the exact same way. She recognized that our exchange had been lopsided in her favor, and was coming to me to for us to discover how to rectify it. So, and I was completely surprised. So a lot of times when you ask, you will be completely surprised.
Sometimes people
And
are waiting. They're waiting. They've already assessed you. I think, and I'll say this very quickly, we
yeah,
need to keep in mind that people have interviewed us from the beginning. We were in an interview, and folks have made their assessment, be it good, bad, or indifferent. They've made their assessment. Where we fall short at times is when you underestimate your value, because the lower the bar, the lower the results. And that's not God given, because we're not supposed to cast our pearls before swine. So you gotta function where your potential has brought you to whatever arena that you're presently serving. People are going to respond. The universe will cash whatever check you have the courage and the fidelity to write. But you have to write that check. You have to
Okay,
put a
great. Thank
value.
you.
Yeah, you got to put a value
Yeah,
on you.
I got it. Outstanding. Thank you. You are so, I love the passion that you have for everyone to really be a stand for their own value, and it comes through in all of your sharing. So thank you so much. And
You're
Diva
welcome.
Jackie, Diva Jackie, let's hear from you. Who are you going to respond to?
I'm of course gonna respond to Miss Margaret in Texas. Um,
Mm.
Margaret, she always remind me of what I always say to myself: check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because that really is so important. She brings up again with relationships. Relationship is a mirror. So whenever I'm dealing with somebody and I'm feeling or I have a big emotion about the interaction or some type of negative response, I'm always analyzing what am I doing? How am I being in this looking at the other person, which is what we are normally trying to do. Um, a lot of times we do that, the tit for tat thing. We tell
Yeah.
people, like, decide how you're going to act, 'cause however you're going to act on the show, that's how we're going to be. However you act, that's how it is, instead of setting the tone ourselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it right just because someone else is acting another way that you get to act that way as well. You're still going to have the consequences that come with acting that way.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Darn it.
Say to you, Margaret, as much as we don't like it, you got to be the bigger person, okay? If you don't want to, that's fine. You're just going to have to deal with the consequences of not.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Absolutely.
So for Margaret, I just wanted to say, you say you've been having this tit for tat thing going on even when you were dating men. And then now, you're in a relationship with a woman and it's still going on. I would have to, instead of all those fingers that are pointing out to other people, more back to you. How are you being in this situation? Because we can keep changing the person.
It's like keep finding new people.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're going to keep giving you the same results if you keep being the same way that you're being.
Good point.
So I would say with your girlfriend, you may or may not need to cut her off. I would say that shouldn't be your main focus. Your main focus should be continuing to work in your areas of transformation and self-improvement. And everybody is not going to agree with you at first. Sometimes it may take a while, and then they may want to get interested, or they may get involved, or they may not. But if you continue to change and continue to be who you are evolving into or developing into, the people around you will change. They will either change to be more involved, more aligned with what you're doing.
Oh, you just cut out. What did you say? Wait, what did you say? You were just saying they'd either be more aligned with what you were doing, and then your voice disappeared for a few seconds.
They're
again.
And get. Oh, okay. Hold on.
I think we got most of the gist. Well, it's
so
just
they're
kind of
either
in
going
and
to
out.
get more aligned, with what you're doing, or they're going to evolve out of your life.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. Heard it
so
that
you don't
time.
Need to try to change them.
Yeah.
Just work on changing and being who you need to be and getting more aligned with who you truly are, and the right people will come into your energy. Or the people that are in your environment will change the way that they're responding to you.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, I got it. That's excellent. If I were going to choose someone, I would have also probably responded to that lady, and I would have said pretty much the same thing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Wise woman,
Margaret.
you. You wise woman, you. And then last, last, yeah, like us all. Diva Nakia, what say you, Diva?
Okay. So I would like to speak to Miss Brenda Muhammad's email. Like I would save the other emails for someone else. So Miss Brenda, thank you first of all for the acknowledgement of our approach regarding the young lady in the email correspondence. It's so easy in society for myself, for anyone else, for just society in general, to be quick-witted and say something negative and hurtful and become argumentative or find the wrong in what someone is saying. But how often do we take the initiative and the level of integrity and self-respect that we should have of ourselves before we are able to provide to anyone else out in the world, and acknowledge someone for who they're being and acknowledge them for who they can and shall become? It's so important for us to acknowledge people and communicate in a positive way and try to uplift someone or encourage someone, because we never know where someone is. We never know if they had a smile on that day. We never know if they lost a family member. We never know what the situation may have been, what triggered them to communicate in such a way, whether it's by email correspondence, whether it's by face-to-face communication, telephonic, social media. Today's society is so, what I call, have this Trumpism effect, to where instead of seeing things for what is, it's quick to throw up the curtain and try to shield yourself and put blame and shame on someone else, or find the negativity in something instead of acknowledging truth, acknowledging reality for what reality is, and being mindful of the communication that is being received as well as sent. This platform that we utilize is not for us. We get the benefit of being a part of the Prosperous Divas family. However, our mission, our goal, our work is for the world. It's to give back, to acknowledge, to elevate, to provide prosperity, wealth, and health, and have a mindset that can be created by anyone to create something, no matter what it is, from absolutely nothing, from a clean slate. So we would never desire to intentionally or even unintentionally beat up someone, disrespect someone, degrade someone, take someone from where they are and devour them like a lion. So I thank you for the communication. I thank you for the acknowledgement. And we are here to uplift, and not just uplift, but be straight. Because if you've listened to our shows, we don't hold punches. We're very straightforward. But our end goal is to be a platform that can inspire others, that can help people create from nothing, that can be leaders in the world, that can face anything, no matter what it looks like, no matter how it makes us feel, no matter how it brings us up, down, or make us indifferent. We are here to be a source, a resource of empowerment, of love, of prosperity, wealth, health, and of integrity, and produce out in the world everything that can be and take nothing. We hold no prisoners and we hold back no punches, but we do it and we give it all with love.
Well said. Thank you so much, Diva Nakia.
Yes.
Yay. So I want to thank all of you for sending us your feedback. It is greatly appreciated. And what I see for myself and the Prosperous Divas family and community from what was shared is that the power of the work that we do is in the way that you listen, that you are truly listening powerfully for what is needed and desired for you to have a breakthrough in being whole and complete, honoring your word as yourself as an access to going beyond well-being. And I see that you, like ourselves, are human beings who are committed to living great lives and spreading it. And one of the side things I want to mention is that in addition to sharing about what you've experienced, a lot of you share about what you've told other people about it. And I really acknowledge you for including the people you love and the people in your community in what you're learning from the work that we all are doing together. The more who get this conversation, the more powerful it becomes. And I also just want to say that I appreciate and acknowledge the other divas for what you provided in response to all of the email messages we got. Thank you so much. All right. So now we're going to have an inquiry into the power of command and being whole and complete. So for this conversation, we are over to Diva Jacqueline to start the inquiry.
Yay.
Diva Jackie, take it away.
How's my sound? Am I good?
Yeah, right now you're great.
All right, let me know.
Okay, I'll be watchful.
Good. All right. The power of your word. The power of command. What do you hear when we say the power of your word? Do you hear, of course, words have power? Do you hear, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? It's my favorite. Do you hear, I've heard that before and I believe it. Do you hear a bunch of airy fairy stuff that has nothing to do with producing real results? Do you hear Think and Grow Rich, Zig Ziglar, Wayne Dyer, or even Oprah Winfrey? I do. Whatever you hear or whatever feelings, emotions you are present to is totally perfect. You are perfect. And wherever you are in this conversation is perfect. Many of the world's great religions and faiths align on this one distinction, occurrence, context, or principle. It is fundamental to our divinity, distinct from any religious concept. The basis for power, the generation of power, the access to power. The power of our word. The power of our word. It has been said, in the beginning, there was no thing. There was void and darkness. Then the command was issued. Let there be light. And there was light. And it was good. There is no thing happening in our occurring world that is not the result of the word, our commands to the universe. Our divine powers are not a function of the physical universe. The universe is a function of our divine powers. The source of mischief in our lives is using our divine powers and sending contradicting commands to the universe. I really want that wonderful soulmate. And here's a list of the I really want that wonderful soulmate, and here's the list of all the contradicting what I want. Diva Nikki is our favorite veteran. Let me pretend to be her commander and give her a command. I'm going to like this. I don't know how to get back serious. Okay. Ready? Sergeant Nikki, I want you to take 10 of our best soldiers and make sure they know we hate to do this because we really like them. Sergeant Nikki, what do you think of that command? Follow?
What topic can that come in? Takes about that so the enemy. Yes, and from this year, and make sure they know we have to do this because we really like them.
Do you know what I want?
Yes, I know what you want. It's crazy.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah. I had the side eye, the one big eye, small eye, like,
what is she saying?
But I get the command, yes.
But that's exactly what we do when we give these crazy commands to the universe and then wonder why we don't get the results we want or have results at the level we desire. The universe is confused. So, by the way, if you would like a hint at picking out any hidden contradictory, I don't know why I can't say this correctly. Contradicting. That's what I'm going to say. By the way, if you would like a hint at picking out any hidden contradicting commands, simply look where you use the word but. Not but. Yes, but. I would love to be more outgoing, but I don't want to deal with annoying people. Even your best friend can be annoying sometimes. I want to open my own business and get paid what I deserve, but I don't want to deal with conflicts. Maybe try 1,000 businesses to find a business with no conflicts. Yeah, I'll find one. It should be profitable if I do it that way. Our power of command is not a power over anyone or anything. Let me repeat it. Our power of command is not a power over anyone or anything. Our power of command is a distinct power that focuses the infinite energies of the universe through people, places, things, space, and time to fulfill the desired result. President Kennedy said, "We shall put a man on the moon." There was no evidence for that happening, and his words commanded the universe, and it was fulfilled. Mahatma Gandhi said, "The British will leave India peacefully." The British never left any place peaceably, and nonviolent protests had them leave willingly and peacefully. The power of words. Jesus said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." In the face of injustice, ask Mandela, he forgave. The families of innocent people killed while studying the Bible in a church that welcomed all souls stood with Jesus and forgave. The power of his words. We operate as if our words mean so little, when in truth, it is everything. All right, I'll loosen up on you guys. I think it's time for an exercise, and I'm take it over to Diva Nikki. Diva Nikki.
Thank you, Diva Jackie. Girl, you know I had that phone on mute.
I know. I was like, I shouldn't have did it so fast.
That's okay. So, we had an exercise intended to empower you in distinguishing contradictory commands. I don't know why I got stuck doing this. Create the following categories: self-expression, wholeness, prosperity. Under each category, write, what do I desire that I do not have, or is not at the level of fulfillment I see? Next to each item, write 3 commands you give to the universe for the fulfillment of the desires and any contradictory commands. Example: prosperity. Desire to have the money needed to retire comfortably. Command: I will have the money I need to retire comfortably. But it can't add to my expenses. I will have the money to retire comfortably, but I will have to keep working hard, and someday it will happen. I will have the money to retire comfortably someday. Do not worry about fixing anything. We want you to be present to what you wrote. Note if there are any persistent complaints or a listing from past conversations, even the recent past, that are limitations. Let me check in with the Divas and see what is present for them in this conversation. Diva Robin, unmute your phone.
Thank you.
She was halfway through the paragraph.
What is present for you, Diva Robin?
Well, what's present for me is that I've been noticing that I haven't been noticing where my butts are.
Oh my God, Robin. I'm with you.
No.
Yes, I know. It's a terrible thing. So for example, I want to be worry-free when it comes to money. But I think that the circumstances need to change, and then magically that'll make me stop worrying. And it's been a really interesting phenomenon, because until recently my husband was the big worrier. Like he would, we'd have some expenditure, or I'd want to do something that required money, and he would, get worried and upset about it. And I was always, come on, no, it's fine. It'll be just fine. And recently, he has just shifted, and he's not the one who worries. And now that he's not worrying, it's like guess what?
Role reversal.
So I think, I don't know whether we just switched roles or whether my worry was just less than his, or whether that like he was worrying enough for both of us so I didn't. I'm not sure exactly how all that worked, but what I've really been seeing is my tendency to worry, and it's needless, and it definitely has a a deleterious effect. So I'm really noticing where my butts are.
Wow.
That's funny. Thank you. Diva Janice, what is present for you?
I love that conversation with Robin.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I know, it's just so hilarious. Noticing what your butts are. Listen, being a single woman and the baby girl in my family, I think I just didn't learn where my butts were, because I just expect, number one, and this is not a diminutive spin on anyone by any stretch of the imagination, I just ask for stuff. I just do. I ask for stuff. And I'm going to tell you how I learned to do this. It's when I first got my contract consulting for a United States senator. And I said to him, I'm not a yes person. And he goes, I know that. That's why I asked you to come aboard. And then I recognized if I don't ask for what people are afraid to ask for, I'm not going to get it. I needed to distinguish myself because I wanted to serve people. I love serving people, period. And this is my passion. I think you guys hear from me every week because I know that we're all conduits, and I just want to be in the best position where I can make things happen. And one thing I had to realize for me is, you know what? Even if they said no, I don't care if they said no 10 times. I'm coming back until I get my yes, because I've got to get a yes, not just for me, but for the people who are associated with me. And for in my life, I know I'm never going to have children. I'm past that age where I decided I'm not going to have children. But what can I leave for the next generation where I've got to secure a yes? So for me, I push the envelope. I don't care how annoyed people are with me at times, because I know what I'm pushing for is for a greater good. I know it sounds like a fluff piece to a lot of people, but I promise you, there is something so much bigger than ourselves at play. And I just find it hilarious that I get to be at the seat I have a seat at the table. I'm very serious when I say I find it hilarious, because we can all rely upon our intellect and our whatever our past experiences are. But when you look at this thing from another perspective and how you've just been chosen to be here and to say something and to make something happen for other people, and those who don't have a voice or the courage, and those who are afraid to step up, this is where I'm excited. This is what's present for me. And all that we're doing and all that you ladies are doing, you have something that people are afraid to do. And I'm just so happy to be a part of this conversation, period. That's what's present for me. Because you know what? Somebody has to represent, and thank God he has allowed us to be at the table. And I know for a number of people who are listening, and I can feel the energy. Oh, that's just so nice. But listen, we're fighting through, we're pushing through, we're getting through, we're dissolving things and resolving issues and getting rid of things that don't matter.
because we're in a new season and we understand that, and we just want to be a blessing to people. It's not a religious application, it's a spiritual application, because you were born for this. You were born to succeed. You were born to express the greatness of the divine. And this is what is present for me. And I'll leave it right there. I can live in this arena all day long, because this is what I believe wholeheartedly. We were born for this.
Wow. Wow.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Done. But I honestly,
you.
we were born for this. We have gone through so much. And if people only knew what you went through, Nikki and Nikia and Robin, and I guess I got to give credit to Ronnie B, being the only male on the show. If they only knew what you were pressing through to be at this present moment, so that you can share with a global audience, to say to them, we understand, we know how it feels to be discounted. We know what it means to be left out. We push through. It breaks me. It breaks me on so many levels. It breaks me on so many levels, because it takes courage to do great things. And nobody on this show is speaking from a frivolous place where you haven't had those moments when you didn't process when people discounted you. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful. I am just so grateful to be able to share, to say to people, you can do this. You can do this. I don't care if your marriage is in trouble, your business in trouble, your friendships are maybe in trouble. You can recover. This is what I hear. This is what I hear.
Wow. I am speechless, Miss Janice. You have no idea how what you just said got deep into my soul. And so much so that I just have to share in an email or something, or a conversation later. But that was in your delivery just now. Just it hit the soul, and I thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Amen to that.
Diva Jacqueline, what is present for you? Unmute your phone and untalk yourself if you can.
That was powerful, Janice. Thank you.
I know.
It's true. Wow. A lot is present for me even more now. But she's, just even looking at my own journey of where I came from and where I am now, with the way I think about myself and everything going on around me to even me. It's just a shame. That's why I've committed myself to this. It's really life-changing information. I was going to say that I was with Diva Robin on not being present to my butts, but it was actually even deeper for me, where I discovered that I had hidden butts, where I wasn't using the word butt exactly, but what I was doing.
A hidden butt. Oh,
my hidden butts.
Oh no.
But I'll use it now. What I was doing was not reaching high. Um, and wasn't defining myself or my goals. Uh,
You're breaking up a little bit on us, Diva Jacqueline. Ooh, Diva
can you
Jacqueline.
can you guys hear me now?
Great.
Yeah.
Um, what was present to me was that the intention or the goals that I was making for myself, they were very vague. They weren't intentional. I wasn't really striving for things that were out of my reach currently in my perception. Um, and the things that I did reach for, I did receive, but I was dreaming really small, staying in a box of what I believed I could have currently instead of dreaming outside of my perspective. So it just made me present to how I was limiting myself and not clearly defining the things that I wanted and just kind of being vague about it. Either which way would be okay. I'd be happy with whatever, but not really making those clear defined goals. So that's what became present to me, and that I call them hidden, but because I just was planning small.
Mhm.
That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Diva Jacqueline.
Thank
I
you.
can relate to that. Diva
Hmm.
Nakia, Empress of Faith, what do you have to share? What are you present to?
Whew. So I am present to how, one, we're all being touched, moved, and inspired by the sharing and the authenticity of the communication on this subject. So for myself, my constant complaint is being bold and fully self-expressing beyond where I tend to believe I already am. There are specific conversations that I shy away from, run away from, and simply cower out on.
Not cower out on.
And and I I I already know that I'm out of integrity when I don't speak up. I already know that I'm not being fulfilled and there's a level of wholeness that I'm lacking when I don't speak up. And regardless of what the experience is or what the communication is about, it's that uncomfortable feeling that prevents where I allow myself to not speak up. And it's disheartening in a multitude of ways because in those moments, I'm not being a leader. In those moments, I'm not being fully self-expressed. In those moments, I'm not being authentic. I'm not being real. I'm not being genuine. I'm not being who I am and who I have been designed and created to be. I'm not.
Mm.
And that's disempowering, which puts me in a disempowering context. And at that point, I am not valuable to self nor anyone else because I can't bring forth anything that is pure because I'm already disempowered by my lack of action.
Mm.
And Jacqueline used my word, playing small. And if I was to remove those barriers and the constant complaining, it'll always be there. It'll always resurface. But it doesn't have to be the same things. It doesn't have to be the same conversation. And it could be conversations regarding relationships. It could be conversations regarding money. It could be conversations regarding family. It could be conversations regarding employment, what's workable and what's not workable in my life. It could be anything. So that impacts me and keeps me in a place where I'm not fully empowered. I'm not fully alive. I'm not fully living my life into who I say I am, who I say I am being, because I allow something that doesn't exist, that is absolutely empty and meaningless, to keep me from playing the big game that my life is worth living. Yeah.
Wow.
That's all you can say is wow.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and I'm looking for a replacement for the word wow. I'm gonna be digging my vocabulary because I use the word wow. Look, I'm like I use wow like God bless you. So I'm looking for a replacement for the word wow, but I
Okay,
am
well
definitely
we
wowed and
can
moved.
create an upgrade.
Yes, I'm moved.
Mm.
I'm moved. Um, Ronnie B, would you like to chime in on what's present for you?
Uh, what's present for me is responsibility.
Mm.
And it is responsibility like, wow, this conversation is about the power of your word. And, just all you're sharing just lands on me like, wow, like there's a responsibility there. And there's responsibility for me in working with you ladies. There's a way that that calls me to be responsible for the privilege of working with you ladies. You know, Janice and just really threw the like she went. "Whang," let me throw it out there in the universe deep. Well, if you're gonna play with her, well, guess what? You have to be responsible that, wow, we're playing this way. And we're playing this way because it makes a difference. So just really present to that and just present to the just straight up love. We can get technical and sophisticated. We got distinctions and but at the heart of the conversation is love. So I'm really present to that.
Thank you, Ronnie B. I am present to, first of all, I can relate to everything everyone said, but why I'm so moved, and I move beyond the wow. I'm also present to come, I hate to even say it because it's so pathetic, complacency.
Oh.
Yeah, yes, it is pathetic. Um, because there's a difference. There are so in so many ways I have contentment, but there are also ways where I allow my contentment
Mhm.
to turn into complacency, and the complacency is where I am disempowered. I'm allowing myself to be disempowered to fulfill the purpose fully for other people, which is disempowering for myself, where I should not. So, you heard from the prosperous divas as I moved past that like a speed bump. Boom. We have some sharing from our fellow participants. Yeah, let's keep going. We have some more sharing from our fellow participants. And this one comes from Melissa Cartwright. We know her as Bernadette Washington from Surfside, Texas. And she says, Prosperous Divas and Ronnie B. I'm writing a thesis paper on transformational education and self-help. As part of my study, you were sent an email from a listener slinging vulgar insults to test your reactions and responses. As part of my study, we sent emails, that goes there, wow, we sent emails to 1,000 companies and or individuals who identified as providing transformational education or some type of self-help that was transformational. The more well-known Tony Robbins, Landmark Education, Lynn Burchett, Mind Valley, etc., responded right away. They were positive and professional. 235 others responded negatively in kind to the remarks in the email. Prosperous Divas was the only one who responded positively, compassionately, professionally, and respectfully. My team was moved when Ronnie B said at the end of the webinar how much she was loved and welcomed. We could feel how genuine he was being. It touched our hearts. Of all the courses and programs we have studied, yours stands out because the team of women has so much class while being able to connect with everyday women and people in general. Personally, I love the sharing. It has the conversations and what you are teaching be authentic and you can see the practicality. I apologize if my email offended anyone. Thank you. I love your work and your commitment to women. Melissa, thank you so much. Let's hear from the divas, their response. Y'all, that was Miss Surfside, Diva Nakia.
Well, I want to say that I am so I recognize some of the names on the list of the entities that she reached out to and sent the letters to, and some that I didn't. So it enlightens my heart to know that I have been through just being who I am, first and foremost, because I'm the child of God. I'm his daughter and his queen and his princess, and I'm the love of his life. And I reverence him and I want to honor him and show myself worthy to him by way of my communication as well as my walk and my engagement with others and how I lead them. Being responsible for my actions, my words, and my deeds. I also want to say through training and development to see an entity or entities that I have partaken in personally be a part of the list of organizations, transformational educational organizations that were positive and professional. That leaves me in a space of completion in that arena. And that just goes to show you that you never know how your interaction with people is being seen or heard. We have no idea the magnitude of the platform that has been laid for us to engage in and partake in, and the impact that we make on this world, to be acknowledged and not just included, but exclusive in our own category, and to show that there's so much genuineness and authenticity in the communication, as well as with the divas, with Ronnie B, with the leadership of these seminars and these workshops, and the reach. And you know, I used to always be told, you never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. You never know how you leave someone and the impact that you leave them with. You never know if your words will be the last words that they hear, or the words that save their life. You never know how you touch a person, how you can inspire someone, how you can cut them, and how you can heal them. But no matter what, you have to always remember that you have to answer for all of the impact that you have on another person's life just as well as your own. So I thank you, and I am so honored to be a part of this group of leaders, this family that we have within the Prosperous Divas, and to be a part of the positive and professional group and not the negative one. Thank you.
Thank you, Diva Nakia. Diva Janice, please share your response.
Thank you. Melissa mentioned two of my favorite people, of course, in this correspondence, and I confer with Diva Nakia. It's nice to be mentioned upon people who are doing great things. Tony Robbins is one of my favorites from many moons ago. And he, you have forerunners. You have forerunners, and we honor our forerunners who took the bull by the horn and delve into this industry to talk about the things that are dearest to our hearts. And there are many others. And of course, I'm also familiar with the Landmark Education organization. And what I have to say is, it's just so nice when people find where they belong and understand the power that's invested in them by God. There's no other source other than by God. This is not a religious application. You are divinely empowered to do great things. And when you discover what that power is and you let your light shine to go out and make the difference wherever you are assigned in your world, be it in corporate America or in a nonprofit setting or in government, it's just be the expression of the divine. I just find this phenomenal. I really do. Melissa, you're tapping into something that is obviously challenging your walk, and I think I speak for everyone, is to embrace what the now is representing in your life, because it matters. It's not by accident that you are tuned into this show, and everyone here has paid a price to be able to say everything that is being shared at this particular moment. Enjoy it. And we are just so grateful for your correspondence.
Yes. Thank you, Diva Janice. Next, Diva Jacqueline.
Thank you. Wow. It's a powerful email. I'm going back to relationship as a mirror. Who I am being is a reflection of me. How you respond, how I respond to you is a reflection of you. How I respond to you is a reflection of me. Relationship is always a mirror, even with just interacting with people who are strangers. And this, for me, brought up a situation that I had where it was actually someone really close to me, and I was sharing this information with them. And we had talked about it before, but we were getting in a real in-depth conversation, and out of nowhere, they kind of attacked me, like literally. They cursed at me, and why are you looking at this? And this is BS, and they attacked me, and it and it caught me off guard because I do go faithfully by the motto of don't take anything personal, as far as how people respond to me. But coming from this person that was really close to me, it just kind of it shook me up. But I did stand my ground with what I was saying. But the reason that situation came up for me is because he actually came to me later that day and apologized. And he told me that his ego is the reason that he attacked me that way, that I had brought up, I triggered something in him, and it upset him because it made him feel like I was making him responsible for the things that occurred to him, and he took that in a defensive way. And so his response was to attack me because he didn't want to accept what I was saying. So in defense, that was his response. But the fact that he was able to come to me and we could apologize and later have that conversation just brought so much more awareness to me about the way people respond to you is based on what's going on with them. So it takes a lot of energy to spend your time to even listen to us, and then to take your time to actually write an email out. And if you're going to do, have you ever caught yourself on the social media getting ready to respond to someone negative? I literally wrote out a sentence and then I'm like, I'm not doing that. Erase. It takes a lot of energy to engage like that negatively. So, you can't take that personally when people respond to you like that. So whatever you're doing, you trigger something within them, and however they're feeling is really about them and not about what we're doing.
Yeah.
So there was no reason to respond to that person's email with nothing but love. They took the time to write us an email. That's a lot of energy.
Right.
And we appreciate all good and different comments, whatever is going on, how you're feeling, share. If you're here, you're present, let's talk about it because we're learning either way. And so I'm glad that other people are present to that. It was a lot of responses to that situation in today's session. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes. Unmute your phone. You're next, Diva Robin.
I'm already unmuted. Ha ha. I pre-unmuted. But thanks for taking care of me. I appreciate it. Anyway, first of all, holy cow. That is wild that whole email that we presented with as it was put with the vulgarities was actually part of a test, and that we happened to share that message. And I have to say that I have kind of a mixed response to it. One is, on the one hand, it's like, wow, I'm glad that we kind of did so well and that we were authentic, and that, and I'll say some more about that in a minute. And something that no one else has said, and I may be the fly in the ointment here, is that I had a little bit of reaction to being tested, that the email itself was not really, I know it couldn't be because of the purpose of it, but there was like the email itself was inauthentic. It was not someone expressing herself. It was a test. And I just want to not gloss over that. I don't have an emotional upset around it or anything, but it's just something that I wanted to um, say. And I think that sometimes that what Melissa did it for a pretty interesting and valid cause, and I think that people do that a lot of times when it's not. When it's just like even in personal, individual, one-on-one relationships, say something just to see, like as a way to test something, but not really expressing it outright. So I just wanted to be the one person who kind of the squeaky wheel or what have you to mention that aspect of it. And then on the other hand,
Robin, do you know who those people are? They call them
who
children, and they're usually yours.
oh, let's see what they're gonna do. Yeah, yeah, very good. Well, I don't have children, so it went right over my head. Although I have certainly worked with plenty of them. That's really great, Ronnie B. Anyway, so that aside, the acknowledgement that was expressed in that message is huge, and I think that Divas, Nakia, Janice, and Jacqueline all expressed everything I had to say about that, except for this one thing, and that is that I think that Melissa's words about how we responded are a reflection of our stand for equality, mutual respect, valuing the unique and divine contribution of others, honoring life in all its wondrous expressions. And then the only thing I have to add to that is that I would love to know, Melissa, if you are listening to our show regularly and how it's going for you. And that's it for me on that.
Thank you, Diva Robin. Diva, I mean not Diva. Ronnie B, would you like to chime in, or shall I go on with mine?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, I co-sign everything everyone else said prior to, along with what Diva Nikia responded, how she responded to when we were doing the emails earlier. Everything that Diva Nikia said when she spoke in the opening of emails was on point and was a true representation of us all. And along with Diva Janice's sharing a few minutes ago. To add to that, I'd like to say that I, for us, was flattered and honored and grateful to be counted enough for such a test and to see where we all stood and how we all stood as a whole in our integrity of who we are, in our response. But to be counted among those others, I was like, whoa, okay, go, prosperous divas, go. But also I want to say that all of the prosperous divas and Ronnie B, we're always working on ourselves anyway, which helps us to continue to be authentic. And these young ladies and this gentleman on the line, they make it easy for me. It's such a pleasure to work with them and to grow with them and to be a prosperous diva. So thank you, and please keep tuning in, Melissa. Thank you. So, speaking of sharing, Ronnie B has something to share about a father and the power of his word. So, Ronnie B.
Thank you, Diva Nikki, and this is um, this is so perfect because this share was designed for this section to be put in here, and
Mhm.
but it points to so much of what uh, uh, Diva Janice shared, and it's all about the power of your word. And
Mhm.
Wow, and uh, in a different organization where they did where they did transformational training, I was supervising a course, and I just want you to imagine, here it is, you're spending 2 3 days in a room with 150, maybe 300 people who are absolute strangers to you, and you're
Mhm.
having this type of conversation for 9 or 10 hours. So it's pretty intense. And there's just this wide variety of people. And um, I don't know if I can't say for you, but I'm sure that for many of you, you've been in a room with people, and there was an aura, a presence around, let's say, a person, and you knew in your heart of hearts that that was a good person, that
Mhm.
they were good. That is a good. They didn't say anything to you, but you could just get how that they presence. You could get that they were a good parent, someone who was, good to their spouse, and good to their community, and good to their God and how they worship. That they were that's a good person. And circumstance and chance happens
Hmm.
to anyone. So we're here, and then it's like I said, we got all these people, and I'm supervising this production, and there's during the different breaks, people in the course speak to the people who are assisting around it, to get clarity, and that it's that whoever comes and asks you, you're the right person for them for whatever question they have. And you know this man comes up to me, this man who, I mean, just everything about him just eeks a good man, a truly good man. And that good man comes up to me and he's like, wow. And he said, man, I've listened to all the people here, and seen the miracles they gotten for themselves. And he said, but I can never forgive myself for killing my son, for killing my son. And I was like, wow, for killing your son. And it was like, whoa, no, whoa, wait just a minute. Because remember, I said everything about this man was he was a good
Mhm.
man, and he
Mhm.
killed his son.
Mm.
And what happened, this good man, he has 4 boys, and all he wanted was to have a little girl. That's all he wanted. He said, hey, I have 4 boys, and me and my wife, we just want to have a little girl. And as it be, his wife got pregnant. And this was at a time when they didn't do all the ultra and scanning tests, and you kind of had to, go by whatever, uh, to know what the baby would be. And he was, I want a girl, I want a girl. We're so happy we're gonna finally gonna have a girl. And when the baby was born, he went, and went to the hospital and stuff, and it was another boy. And he said, I wanted, I wanted a girl. He said that.
Mhm.
Well, fast forward a couple of months, and he loved, and of course, he loved his son, his child, and all of that. But so fast forward a few weeks, and he's at work. And he's working, doing his job, and his boss goes, "You got to get home. It's really important. Leave now. You got to get home." And so, of course, he grabbed his things, and he, headed, hopped in the car to head home. He gets there, and there's ambulances, and he's like, what's happened, no, there's no fire or anything. And what had happened was his baby son, when he was leaving to go to work, he took the baby out the crib. And, he put the baby, his wife was sleeping, but he put the baby, under her. And somehow or another, the baby crawled between the headboards and strangled to death.
Hmm.
And
Oh.
and he said in that moment he knew that he had killed his son. He said he had already said his word,
Hmm.
you know, I want a girl. I wanted a girl. That I didn't want you. I wanted a girl. So the universe took
Hmm.
you away.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what do you say? What do you say? And what you always say is what you say is the truth. Because that's the only thing you can say is the truth. And the truth was you killed your son. Yes, you did that. You did that. You killed your son. And your son does not ever want you to suffer because you did not murder your son. And he would not want you to live
Hmm.
that way. Your
Hmm.
son has already forgave you.
Hmm.
Your son already said, forgive him. He knows not what he says. But your son would not want the man who loves him, his father, to suffer.
Hmm. Hmm.
And in that moment, I'll just say you could see a shift. Because in that moment, he got that he could forgive himself for killing his son, but not for murdering him. He did not murder his son. And and it was like, a couple of days later, we have like a evening thing where people come and God, I think the
That
guy
no,
went. He had all his kids, his grandkids. I think he went and
it's
got the
okay. You
neighbor.
got to
I think he
down,
went
but
and
there's
got
a cat hair on it.
went and got the neighbor's kids.
Hmm.
He had so much family there, and you could just see all the love for this good man. So,
Wow.
it just kind of dovetails with what Janice was saying. You just, we are where we are, and we, have our individual professions and work, how we make money, and oftentimes we don't have a clue as to the difference that we make
Hmm.
and the power of our words. So I wanted to share that with you that's just how powerful your word is. It's not trivial. And I'm
Hmm.
not trying to put anything heavy on you, but I do want you to wake up that your word, your power, it's everything. It's the whole show, the whole kit and caboodle.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is. All right, back to you, Diva Nikki.
Okay. Thank you. That was beyond deep. Okay, so we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we return, during the break, breathe. When we return, creating and managing conversations for fulfillment with Jiva Robin. It is now 6:46 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please return at 6:51.
Whole. I am created whole in order to live free. At times, humans may make life more complicated by overthinking. No one has to remind the fish he is a fish or to swim in the sea. And no one tries to convince the fish he should be a dolphin or a seagull. The fish simply is. I am created whole. The innate pattern of my divine self is complete and has no flaw. My imprint is entirely unique and cannot be compared to any other pattern. I judge no one and focus on my ability to freely be who I came into this world to be. I do my best to align my thoughts and actions with my divine imprint. When voices in the world judge me or speak of my brokenness, I listen to the still, small voice within. Turning within, I hear the truth. I am created whole in order to live free. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. Psalm 131:16.
I'm about to jump ship. You took it overboard, overboard. I'm not tied to it. There's no way to win. Keeping score, yeah. You can go away forever. Take her on your way, whatever. I'm not the kind to waste time with you. Keeping broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. All the empty words you said, I'm chasing them all in my head. I'll be alright. You said love wasn't ours, but I thought that it was. No. Keeping broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. You're looking at us. You're looking at us. You eat your words, lost my appetite. I'ma watch you burn, love the way it hurts. I'll be fine, yeah. You can go away forever, take her on your way, whatever. I'm not the kind to waste time with you. Keeping broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. All the empty words you said, I'm chasing them all in my head. I'll be alright. This love wasn't ours, but I thought that it was. No. Keeping broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. You're looking at us. You're looking at us. You're looking at us. You can go away forever. Take her on your way, whatever. I'm not the kind to waste time to you. Broken promises, I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my, won't change my. Only after what you said, I'm chasing them all in my head. I'll be alright. This was lost, but I thought that it was. No. Keep it broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind.
All right. We are about to start back up, and you have about 1 minute to grab a glass of water, stretch out, be comfortable before we move on to the next segment. And again, that next segment will be coming up in just about a minute. I hope you've enjoyed the last session. If you did not, stick a pin in yourself. You must not be alive. Wow, just powerful conversations. Um, just moving, just really inspiring. And oh God, do the work, do the work. It was just so much great, great, great conversation, and the conversations that move things forward, and that's perfect because now it is time for me to turn this over to Diva Robin.
Yay! Thank you, Ronnie B. I love I love the conversation I'm about to have with everyone. So, welcome back. Let's review some of the basics of creating and managing conversations for fulfillment. These are the conversations that allow for things to be fulfilled. So, first, let's look at the nature of conversations. Conversations can be broken down into two basic categories. The first category is conversations about. These include conversations about right, wrong, a description, explaining, and as the term sounds, about that it's simply talking about. So conversations about. The second is conversations for. So conversations for could also said to be conversations in behalf of. And they include conversations that are action, promises, requests, manifesting or having, and possibility. We are going to borrow a distinction called in the stands versus on the court. And I touched on this a little bit in our last session. So in the stands are conversations about. On the court are conversations for. So, for example, someone who's sitting on the beach explaining how to swim is way different from someone in the water swimming and demonstrating what it takes to swim. Conversations for fulfillment are conversations that forward the manifestation of a possibility, project, or commitment. Conversations for fulfillment do not explain, describe, or justify. They are actionable conversations designed to move, touch, inspire, and produce results. Over the next few weeks, we are going to train you in having and managing conversations to produce results. The first the first level of a conversation is conversations you have with yourself to keep a possibility, project, or commitment alive in your occurring world. The second level of conversation is conversations that you share with at least 3 others who will support you in keeping a conversation for possibility, for a possibility, project, or commitment alive. I'll give you that one again. The second level of conversation is conversations that you share with at least 3 other people who will support you in keeping a conversation for possibility, a project, or a commitment alive. The third level of conversation is conversations shared by your 3 conversation partners, the ones that you've shared with, that they are now sharing with 3 other people each for keeping the conversation for a possibility, project, or commitment alive. In our model, conversations break down into 2 categories. which is part of their nature. Another aspect of conversations is that conversations disappear. So what do I mean by that conversations disappear? Conversations are not physical things. Thus, there is nothing inherently that keeps them in existence. They're not physical. Once you've spoken it, there are the sound waves, and the sound waves dissipate, and there's nothing left. Conversations disappear. Conversations only have existence to the degree that they are repeated or shared. So conversations only exist when they're repeated or shared. If they're not, then they've disappeared, and that's the end of that story. So we say at the Prosperous Divas that the Prosperous Divas stand for equality, mutual respect, valuing the unique and divine contribution of others, honoring life in all its wondrous expressions. If this statement is repeated and shared, it has power, and it sources the manifestation of the future we desire. Otherwise, it disappears. So another example is, whatever the obstacles, you could say, whatever the obstacles, I will work with my children and they will do well at school. If this statement that you've made is repeated and shared, it has power and sources the manifestation of the future that is desired, where the children do well in school. Another example. The right guy is out there for me. I am going to be open and available for him to find me. You can say that. If you repeat this statement and share this statement, it has power and sources the manifestation of the future that is desired, where the right guy shows up. Seems so simple, right? Well, it really is, except remember, the nature of a conversation is for it to disappear. You really have that big dream, and you are going for it. You are sharing with everyone who has a pair of ears. You are excited, making things happen. Then 2 weeks go by, and you only mention it if someone else brings it up. 3 weeks go by, and it isn't even an afterthought. What happened? The nature of a conversation is for it to disappear. There's no accident. That's the way it is. Conversations disappear. The nature of a conversation is that it disappears unless you do something about it. And what you can do about it, what has a conversation stay alive, is what we call a structure for existence. And that is not your memory, folks. Your memory had 2 weeks go by and you barely remembered it. 3 weeks go by and it's gone. Building a structure means building a structure that is outside yourself, built on a foundation of integrity. And that's what can provide the basis for keeping the conversation alive. Structures for existence are conversations that require people who are sharing and repeating the conversations between the person who created the conversations and themselves at the first level. So a structure for existence requires people. people who are sharing and repeating the conversations. People share and repeat conversations in which they have been left moved, touched, and inspired, and see a new possibility for themselves in their occurring world. And listen, you have had many demonstrations of that, even in just the first other two in tonight's session, when the people who wrote into us shared that they've been sharing what moved, touched, and inspired them in the sessions by the Prosperous Divas. Guess what? They shared those conversations and thereby created a structure for existence. They were moved, touched, and inspired. They shared the conversation. The people they share the conversation with share the conversation. And the conversation lives. It doesn't disappear. As the integrity builds in your structures for existence, you will notice that people do not engage you as you or who you have known yourself to be. People begin to engage you as that conversation or possibility that was created and shared with them. This week, I shared with the women who created the stand that we speak as the Prosperous Divas. I shared with them that conversation has now been disseminated into the world via the Prosperous Divas. And they've been sharing it in their domains. And this conversation is not disappearing. It has a structure for existence. And it's a conversation that moves, touches, and inspires people. You said and created a structure for existence for the conversation. For example, whatever the obstacles, I will work with my children and they will do well at school. You keep that in existence through a structure. And guess what? Teachers, principals, tutors, counselors engage with you as a parent dealing with whatever obstacles there are to work with your children so that they do well in school, and you have partners. You have partners and you have become that conversation for them. And guess what? It's very likely that it will become a conversation for all the children in that school before long. People engage the Prosperous Divas as our stand for equality, mutual respect, valuing the unique and divine contribution of others, honoring all its wondrous expressions. We keep that conversation alive by speaking it at every session and by sharing it with you. Let's hear from the Divas what is present for you in this inquiry. Diva Nakia, please. Are you muted? Hello, Diva Nakia. Unmute. 5, 4, 3, 2, da 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 da. Okay, Diva Nakia, I'm going to come back to you. Diva Janice, what have you to say about what's present for you in this inquiry?
What is most present for me is the power of words. Number one, we have to be present in every conversation. And as we apply ourselves daily to speak what we believe, we're creating, number one, a pathway to greatness. We create a pathway that yields what we seek for tomorrow. But we have to be present in the day. And what sticks out the most for me is the power of your words. And if we take ownership
of our current situation, because you can't live tomorrow in today. You have to live today and sow the seeds in today that will produce what you're looking for in tomorrow. Now, tomorrow may represent 10 years down the road or 5 years into the future, but you have to be present in the present sense, that you say what is divinely assigned to you and take ownership in terms of the power of your words, because it's a creative force. We are even as God. And I believe when we get comfortable understanding that we're as God, and I know a lot of religious folks will have difficulty digesting that, but I'm going to let that be their problem, because we are a
Hair
part
on
of his
fire moment.
DNA.
Hair on fire alert.
I knew you would chime in, Ronnie. I knew you would chime in. But listen, we're divine. He says, I created you a little lower than the angels, a little lower than the angels, but we have something that the angels can't claim. We have power, we have divine access, and we have a relationship that they don't even have. They're on assignment to do our bidding, and when we understand that in our present conversation, we send them out to do our bidding into the world. This is where this invisible atmosphere is doing warfare, if you will. And those of you who know this understand exactly what I'm saying. We put them on assignment. This is why it's prevalent for folks to speak well over their lives, to say what has been said by the divine, because you're going to reap what you speak. Not only what you sow, but what you speak. So we speak wellness. This is why I keep telling you, Ronnie and the ladies, this is a national television show. We're going to have this. The Prosperous Divas. It's not just about materialism. It's about who you become as a result of what you have achieved and what you do. This is what's present for me. Diva Janice, thank you so much. And I am also speaking that we are to be a national television show. Absolutely. It's too much richness. As I said earlier this evening, what everybody, you all have processed things in your arena to be where you are so that you can share and be transparent and comfortable with a global audience as to what's possible. And you can't do that without courage, and you have courage. So it's just a matter of, it's just a matter of time before this goes to the next level. Yeah. Yes. And thank you for creating that. We are your structure for existence for this. I appreciate that. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. I keep telling Ryan every day. I tell Ryan this every day. Yes. Excellent. Thank you so much. And Diva Nakia, are you now there?
I am present.
Yay.
I'm present.
Yay. Hi.
Hello. So it is so critical to have a structure for fulfillment. You can have every calendar, every planner, every ding on your phone going off. But if you do not have a structure, you will never fulfill it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
End of story.
Absolutely. When we speak, we give our word. Our word is all that we have. A name means nothing because you live, you die. Your name will be remembered or maybe it won't. But your word that you gave while you were amongst the living, your word is a thing that people remember you by. Mm-hmm. Either you honored it or you didn't. Either your word stood for something or it didn't. Either your word was golden or it was ashes.
Mm.
And having your word coexist with a structure for fulfillment will allow you to dominate all of your dreams, goals, and aspirations. And I'm getting this. That's what resonated with me. That's what became present to me. And I'm one for honoring my word to everybody in the world but self.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that when I've had a structure for fulfillment,
They call that an integrity issue.
that is so true. That is so true. And I know that when I've had a structure for fulfillment and I honored my word, I was unstoppable. So I can also relate to when
Yeah.
I'm not honoring my word in the midst of and in the presence of having a structure for fulfillment. It is out of line. It's out of integrity. It's unclear. It's unclear.
Yeah.
So I think that all the things that the ladies share and Ronnie B shares about and brings to the table, and every time we join in on the conversation and say what's present for us, it allows us to really participate and clarity on what there is for us to get out of this individually as we're able to impact others and help others see what may resonate for them. And it never has to be the same thing. It can always be something different. But it lets the world see how human and transparent we truly are, how imperfectly perfect we truly are.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Eloquent and beautiful and so true. Indeed, indeed. And now, Diva Jacqueline, what you got to say about that?
Thank you.
Mm.
Structure for fulfillment. Again, it just took me back to me thinking small, not planning, not having a clear strategy or idea of what I truly desire and being too general or not being willing to narrow it down. Which I think, now that I think what's coming to me about that, it might be a fear of not narrowing it down because of prior experiences of being disappointed. So people don't narrow down, or me, I'm not narrowing down goals maybe because of the idea that I may have done it before and it didn't work, but I probably wasn't too clear at that time either.
Yeah, got
it. But the idea
so
that
you're
I
trying
got
to say that you didn't just start being vague about your desires?
No. I think this has been going on. It might be a trend. But and when you think about it, it's absolutely insane. It's like trying to build a house with no blueprint.
Yeah. Good analogy.
I want a house. Just put the stuff together. It doesn't matter. Just like,
I just got a visual right there in my head about that house.
Yeah, I want it to be nice, but I guess if you put it like that, it should work out.
Yeah.
And you can imagine what kind of house you end up with.
I have been imagining that. Yes. Pretty
no
famous.
foundation.
All right. Holes in the wall.
The walls aren't straight.
Exactly.
The rooms don't match up. Yeah.
It's just that, and that's something that I'm gonna really work on this week. Just getting clear and
for you.
Not limiting myself with that creating either, which is something I think that probably stops me as well with the limits we give ourselves. And I try to think outside of my current reality. But it can be difficult, but in the creating portion, because we still can create small, like, oh, I go a little bit above that reality. That's still, but not really creating from what's inside of us to create, no matter how unrealistic it may seem at our current perception.
Yeah.
And I did kind of make a little list here, just of things that I want that you can check yourself on, which I'm going to be checking myself on as far as the way other people are responding to me. And I'm checking myself based on how do I identify myself? How does my attitude and my beliefs, how am I presenting those to the world? My appearance and the way I carry myself, how am I showing the world how I invest in myself? How I love myself, how I accept myself. And so I thought those things were great as far as self-evaluating why things are responding to you the way they are. And those are the areas that I'm really going to be focusing on this week, paying attention to those conversations that I have with myself based on my identity, my attitude, beliefs, how I carry myself, love myself, and accept myself.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for being such a great demonstration of the work in action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woohoo. And last but not I can't even say it. Last but not least, Diva Nikki.
First, I want to say kudos to Diva Jacqueline for being so clear and descriptive this session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Yeah, I'm loving it. So I'm here for it. Like they say, I'm here for it. What's present for me and what I'm open to is, first of all, that the Prosperous Divas is a national syndicated television show transforming lives and making Prosperous Diva a thing to be. Number one, okay.
A thing to be. I don't know if I want to be a thing. A who to be.
A who to be. There you go. A who to be.
I want my cat.
You want your what?
The women to be, Robin.
The women to be.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's beautiful.
And
I love it, Divya.
Thank you. And thank us all and Diva Janice for starting the conversation. Speaking of conversation, I'm also present and looking forward to having the conversation of intentional work and expectation with the reception and acceptance of all that comes with it and mastering my emotions through it all and overcoming the spirit of complacency.
I don't even want to, Diva Nikki. I love what you said, but I'm not sure if they are spirits or demons of complacency.
Honey, whatever they are, they're going to come under submission of the Holy Spirit and the power of my word and integrity today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, amen to that. Amen to that. I'm with
Oh
you.
my gosh, that's brilliant.
Wow, I'm with you. That is so great.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, wow. Diva Robin, want to make sure I did not drop this out. 3 things quickly.
Yes.
In the world of command, I declare. Powerful command. I declare these truths to be self-evident that all are created.
Yep.
I declare
I declare. Mm, I
Another
declare.
another command with unintended results. E pluribus unum.
Mhm.
E
Mhm.
pluribus unum. Out of many, one.
Many. One. Yes.
Now, what happened when that was declared? They thought it was going to be for white people only. Bad
Yep.
news. They made a declaration. The universe said, "Well, you didn't say that it wasn't going to be for the slaves or for the
Hmm.
native born people. You didn't say all of that. And even if you had, it would have been a contradictory command." So
Hmm.
today we are dealing with the results of e pluribus unum. So
Yes, we
Mm.
are.
just to be present to the power of command. Back to
Yes.
you, Diva Robin.
Woo! Thank you so much. I declare that it is time to to look at whether this inquiry has begun to pique your interest. Um, at the next session, we are going to go deeper into the first three levels of structures for fulfillment and a specific construction for the conversations. And so now we are about to take a 5-minute break. When we return, the Empress of Faith with the Energy Integrity Power Builder, and the finale will come. So it is now 7:24 p.m. and we will resume at 7:29 Central Time, starting now.
Prosperity, the divine flow of abundance meets my every need. Because I am the beloved image and likeness of God, abundance flows from me as a spirit of generosity. Every good possibility comes into view as I connect with the flow of abundance. All avenues of expression are open for me to experience infinite prosperity. The universe is overflowing with all good things, infinite potential, expanding without limit. What this means for me right now is that I am not limited by circumstances. I use my creative energy and divine ideas to open new avenues of prosperity. My world is ordered and overflowing with all that I give and receive. In constant prayer and thanksgiving, I live a prosperous and full life I am meant to live. See if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you an overflowing blessing. Malachi 3:10. Life's not really worth the trip if you know what lies ahead. Take the path least traveled is where I go instead. Thoughts arise in space and time, it's long before I like. The past is in the rearview now, fading out of sight. The journey I'm on is never really done. Silence walls that I try to fill between one. On this winding road of my life, I've taken wrong turns along the way. I'm looking for a sign, the maps in my mind. I'm not lost, just not discovered. Not sure where I'm going, but I do know where I've been. And I have to keep on moving till I reach the end. My shadow is there, so I know I'm not alone. And it's all a destination that is still unknown. The journey I'm on is never really done. Silence walls that I try to slowly feel one. On this winding road of my life, I'm taking wrong turns along the way. Not looking for a sign, those maps in my mind. I'm not lost, just undiscovered.
winding road of my life. I've taken wrong turns along the way. Not looking for a sign, the maps in my mind are not lost, just undiscovered. On this winding road of my life, I've taken wrong turns along the way. Not looking for a sign, the maps in my mind are not lost, just undiscovered. Not looking for a sign, the maps in my mind are not lost, just undiscovered.
All right. That was such a great line. I'm not lost. I'm just undiscovered. That is really
Okay.
beautiful. That is really a beautiful line. I like that.
It really is.
I am not lost. I am undiscovered. Not a pretty nice track. I have to give him a thumbs up. This is the Prosperous Divas, living wealthy. That's right. Beyond well being. This is the finale with the energy, integrity, blast, power builder. Diva Nakia, take over your session, ma'am. Empress of Faith, do something.
All right. I know that y'all are ready and excited and full of energy, right? Okay. But I'm not convinced because I only hear myself. So I'm going to ask again. I know everyone is full of energy, engaging with integrity, building up power. Energy, integrity, power builder, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We got the power.
All right. I'm just saying, but I have to for me and the rest of the world, so y'all better get with it. Okay, so welcome back. I am Diva Nakia, yes, known as the Empress of Faith. We're going to review the basic building block of energy, which is integrity. Now, before we review here is our empowerment message. Okay. Now, y'all ready? We all need to look objectively. Look objectively. Okay, I know you're asking a question. How do you look objectively at your situation? The answer would be, are you ready? Drum roll. Boom. By refusing to make it about you. Get yourself out of it. It's not about you. Okay, so let's look at this. Now, we're going to pretend that the problem you're dealing with is happening to, guess who? Someone else, not you. Now, this should make it a lot easier for you. So what advice would you give that person? Now, think about it. This isn't your situation. It's not about you. And remember, everyone comes to you, right? When they have an issue. So what advice do you give that person? Set aside your fear, insecurity, resentment. Let go of the impulse to feel sorry for yourself. Now get in the habit of seeing each situation for what it is. For real. Now free yourself from your emotional burdens, ladies. Okay, guys, yeah, you too. You're emotional. You just like to hide it. But you gotta free yourself from your emotional burdens and biases, and don't act like you don't have a bias, because everybody do, regardless of your color, your sex, sexuality, or shade. Come on, even your finances. And focus on a highly effective response. I didn't say just a little response. I didn't say just an effective response. I said a highly effective response. That means you got to give something to it. That means you got to step outside of your normal comfort zone and be real and give that person your best advice. Now, how would the most disciplined, successful, oh yes, darling, person you know handle the situation? That is precisely what you can do starting now. Now, let me repeat that because you might not have heard what I said. I said, how would the most disciplined, successful person you know handle the situation? That's the question. Now, what I need you to get also is that way that they handle the situation is precisely what you can do starting now. Not later, not 5 minutes from now. I said right now. Yes, people are always looking at it. For real. Get action. So rise above your own, my own narrow concerns and open yourself, myself, to a far wider set of possibilities. How wide? That's a question. How wide? Life has no limits. Neither does possibility. So rise above your own narrow concerns and open yourself to a far wider set of possibilities. Now look objectively and discover how powerful and effective you can be. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you too. No, I'm not excluding you either. I'm talking to you too. Guess what? I'm even talking to me. So, we're going to borrow a distinction for integrity that we align with. It's okay to borrow. I ain't say steal. I ain't say beg. We just gonna borrow. I mean, we'll give it back. Now, not taking ownership. Integrity. What is it? Integrity. The state of being whole and complete. That's right. I said it. Honoring one's word as oneself. Now, I need you to say that to yourself. Say it out loud. Say it to the world. Don't be afraid. Accept it. Declare it. Get it. Integrity. The state of being whole and complete. Honoring one's word as oneself. Yes, you got it. Now, going beyond well-being. Oh, yes, Lord, well-being. At a basic level requires extraordinary integrity. Yes, yes, yes. Extraordinary. Don't you love that word? A whole bunch of letters that means, so much goodness. In going beyond well-being, we want to be relentless in our pursuit to find areas where the integrity is going out or leaking. Get it? A lioness is trying to get her food to feed her cubs. when I tell you, woo, relentless, yes, relentless. One way we can access the leaks is to look at where we have complaints that will not disappear. Get on my nerves. Always complain about it. Why can't I change it? I can't fix it. I'm putting the part in my hair. Now, so let's access the leaks where we have these constant complaints that will not disappear. So, guess what? I have an assignment. You have an assignment. We have an assignment. Yeah. Okay. So create the following categories. Yes, self-expression. Get your groove on. Yeah. And I ain't talking about nothing dirty, y'all. Get your mind off the gutter. Now, wholeness and prosperity. Self-expression, wholeness, prosperity. Those are the three categories. Under each category, answer the question, what do I desire that I do not have? A brand new car? Yeah. Or is not at the level of fulfillment I seek. Yeah, I need more money. Yeah. I ain't fulfilled yet. So, next, under each response, answer the question, what have I been resisting, putting up with, trying to change, or giving up anything ever happening? I just give up. You know what? Forget it. This room is never going to get clean. Oh my God, it is such a mess. Yes, I just don't know what to do. So much fun. And I complain or suffer in silence. I'd rather get in my bed, get under my cover, and just hide my head and hide my eyes and just be in darkness so I can't see the mess. I'm suffering silently, alone. Yes, it's killing me. Okay, so now, how do you say the conversation?
Some of you suffer in silence by smoking a bunch of weed and drinking a bunch of, or taking a bunch of pills.
Oh.
That is suffering in silence as well. Or watching reruns on cable TV.
Oh, them high cable bills. Ooh, such a distraction. Yes, and some people have sexual addictions. Some people eat their way through it. It's still silent because you're not sharing and you're not having a conversation. You're silent. You're silently indulging in the you know? It's not cool to be a fool. That's what I was told. So, we're not attacking and we're not judging. We're just communicating and sharing the truth. So anyway, keep a daily log or post daily on Facebook any results or insights. And please stay in communication and share with the prosperous divas. Diva Nikki, over to you, my love.
Can you hear me? That was another powerful session, right? This has been awesome. Before we go, let me check in with the divas and get their final thoughts about tonight's session, starting with Diva Janet.
Oh, wow. Tonight was just so explosive and welcoming. It's just been another joy. I'm just so grateful to be a part of the conversation, and we look forward to being a part of the conversation in the future to help women and men alike to find their voice and their courage to just show up and manifest. Sometimes you got to introduce yourself to the world, and maybe this is it, that we're helping people to introduce themselves. So This is what was present for me tonight.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Diva Jacqueline.
Same. Conversation was so emotional today. It was so powerful, positive. I think we broke a lot of we broke through a lot of boundaries today, or we broke through a lot of the conversations, or I think we went to another level of awareness of how powerful these conversations are, or our conversations are, the ones that not only that we're having with ourselves, but with other people. So I'm just so grateful to be present and a part of this.
Right. Diva Robin.
Well, am I unmuted? Good, yes. Tonight was it was a surprising session. It was, I knew what we were going to be talking about, and that it was a really full session with lots of great distinctions and important reminders. And what I didn't expect was how powerful the sharing would be, and it was just like explosive was a great word. And I want to say that for myself, I'm going to be especially watchful for my butt that I was unaware of, that thwart my powerfully speaking my commands to the universe. And so I have, and this thing about a structure for fulfillment and structure for existence is and how that relates to the power of our word is just enormous. And that the more, and we've talked a lot about integrity tonight too, and living as our word. And I want to mention that the when it comes to living as my word, the more I've done that, and the more that's my foundation, the faster the universe provides whatever I command. And I've been working on a book called Art Savvy 101, Learning to Love Today's Art. And I've been working on it on and off for years. And it's a project that's really near and dear to me, and I see it as a big part of the legacy that I want to leave. And but from starting and stopping working on it, I've ended up with this manuscript that's kind of a hodgepodge. There's a lot of repetition, and I started again and I stopped again, and there's a good outline, but it really needs help organizing. And every time I sit down to work on it, I would get just overwhelmed by how to sort it all out. And I realized about 3 weeks ago that I needed help from someone who would really be a great organizer. And I want you all to know that the universe answered that command 3 weeks from when I actually said that was what I needed. And it turns out that my best friend, who's a brilliant writer and organizer, agreed to do it with me. And I realized tonight that not only will she function as a partner in getting it really organized, but she is also a structure for existence. She is a structure for fulfillment for this project. I don't even want to tell you how many years I've been working on it, but I have the sense, actually I should say, we will be done with it in a few months. After, I'm not going to say how many years.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And it's 2 minutes. And it's a miracle because this woman has so many irons in the fire that I almost did not even ask her. And it goes back to what's been shared about making powerful requests and asking for what we really want. And what I really wanted was for this specific woman to do it. And I got the nerve up to ask her. And thank goodness I set aside that but and did it. So I want to share that. So I just want to say that this course is working in my life. And as well as I can see that it's working in the lives of so many other people. And I'm so grateful to be part of this family. That's it for me.
All right. Giving the care.
Yes, indeed. I would like to say that for me, this conversation on this evening allows us to remain humble because we don't get caught up and full of ourselves, in my opinion. The ladies and Ronnie B on this platform. And, we appreciate who we are individually and collectively, I must say. We all bring so much uniqueness to the table, so much knowledge and so much experience, so much diversity to this table, to this platform, that no matter what the conversation is, we bring our best. And when I say our best, we bring our truth, what there is for us individually and collectively, what there is for someone to get out of it, what's important. And it allows me to be present to the company that I keep. And although we don't see each other every day, we don't talk to each other every day, the time that we do spend together is priceless.
Mhm.
We need to take an inventory quite frequently, not once a quarter. But when I start to feel indifferent or different or uncomfortable or something isn't setting quite right, I need to take inventory of my surroundings, my environment. They say be careful with the company that you keep. And I feed off of the love, the transparency, the genuineness, the purity of each of you within this Diva family. And when I say Diva family, I'm speaking of those who write in, those that listen in, that send us vibes and good vibes and, love from afar. And even those that challenge us and question our walk and our purpose. It encourages me to do better. It encourages me to be better. It encourages me to do a self-inventory and look at where I'm out of line and create a structure for fulfillment in order to get myself back in line. When I have disarray in my space, in my environment, whether it's people, places, or things, then my life, my mind is in a disarray. That's uncomfortable. So to know that we're being challenged in a way, to know that we have the ability to challenge each and every person to be better, to do better, to strive for better. It's not taken away from who anyone is. I just want to do the will and the work that I was sent here to do. Each of us have a reason for being a part of this platform because each of us give. And we're giving something that only we can touch others with and uniquely put into the atmosphere, into the space, in order to allow it to manifest. So that's why we have those listeners that write in and those listeners that want to and those listeners that never think about it. But continue to engage with us as we continue to engage with you. And I honor you and I respect each and every person. And I have so much love, peace, love, and blessings. Much favor. I'm out.
Nice. Thank you. We do. We honor each person participating in our seminars. And you are our participants. You are not just that, but you are Prosperous Divas family. We know if you're listening to us and doing the work, you are forwarding the day when all women can live to their fullest potential, fully self-expressed, and with the dignity they deserve. We honor the challenges you face, whether it is being a great mom or opening your first business. Your courage and determination keeps us strong. It is your sharing that has us stay straight and do the work. So the structures for existence, we have a couple of ways for you to stay in the conversation for living wealthy beyond well-being. The fun begins. Number one, begin at our next session, which is Living Wealthy Beyond Well-Being. The fun begins. Session 4, Sunday, August 19th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Visiting Proctor.
Diva Nikki.
Yes.
Just a brief question. Has the fun began?
Honey, the fun has definitely begun. Yes. Visiting prosperousdivas.com and receiving our free 4-part series, Recognizing Winning Conversations That No Longer Work. Visiting prosperousdivas.com and receiving Diva Inspiration, a weekly newsletter with insight into the world of prosperous thinking from myself, Diva Nikki, Nakia, and Diva Jackie. Also, visiting us on Facebook and posting at facebook.com/prosperous divas. Now, Diva Jackie, how would you like people to learn more about your activities?
Thank you. Of course, visit me at mindrights365.com. That's mine, MIND, rights, WRITES, 365.com. I'm also on all the social media networks except Twitter, which I guess I'll join eventually. Right now my plate is full when it comes to social media, but I'm really active on Instagram the most, and I've just started my YouTube, so check out the couple videos I posted, and I'll post some more actually this week. So I still have books available always. They're also on Amazon Kindle, The Black Experience, and Choices. So reach out to me. I'm available.
Thank you.
Thank
Next, Diva Janice, please tell us how we can stay in tune with you.
Thank you, Diva Nikki. I am passionately encouraging authors on my professional side to be a part of the conversation in Beijing, China. We have about 7 days to go before the International Book Fair takes place in Beijing, China. Many authors, many authors, they work very hard.
Get him, Janice.
Listen, you have to go and represent. You have to represent. You have
Go
to
out as media.
you have to make the investment to be over there, where people meet, where the business meet. There's business behind this business. I've worked in media for over 20 years. I've owned my publishing firm for over 15 years, and I've been very blessed. And I just want to have a platform to show other folks how this is where you connect with the industry that's making things happen on a major scale, be it with the foreign rights buyers, which is huge. People don't ever discount this. These are the people who show up just to buy your rights to your stories because they either want to publish it in a foreign language or they want to buy the rights to make a movie out of your story. So you have to be where the conversation is. So this is where we're going to be in a few days. And folks, you can connect with me at hollismedia.net. That's hollismedia.net. And of course, I have the Power for Now, but this is important for me regarding the publishing end because we're getting ready to go, and there's such a huge investment that has been made for this international literary show. So this is what's going on at the moment.
Thank you. That is exciting. You can visit Stephen Nakia, the Empress of Faith, at appointedtimeforyou.com. Empress, what else do you want people to know about your activities?
Also, as I shared, I definitely want you all to reach out to me and let me know any engagements that you may need someone to come talk to families, youth, or individuals about the reentry process when you have family members that are incarcerated or being released from incarceration, when you have children that are impacted and affected by those that have family members, parents, grandparents, and whomever their guardians are in and out of criminal justice institutions, how it impacts the youth within the school system, in the community, engagement with authority, with parents, with peers. Also, I am in the financial planning services industry, and you can reach me at nfranklin.41bxc at Primerica, PRIMERICA.com. If you have any questions or would like to find out additional information on insurance needs, homeowners, whatever financial services you may be interested in or trying to get clarity on. So I look forward to speaking engagements and continuously engaging with members of the community, school systems, and districts to bridge the gap between the millennials, those younger, the more seasoned people, and whatever there is that can help strengthen and build our communities from day to day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. You can check me out and follow me on Facebook at Narcissus Nikki Taplin. You can also catch me on Instagram as the same, Miss Entrepreneur Nikki, and on Twitter as Miss Entrepreneur. For more information about workshops
We got to get Diva Robin.
Hey!
Oh, did we miss Diva Robin? I am so apologetic. That was good.
It's
I
fine.
heard it last week.
It's
that
fine.
was good this time, Ronnie. Okay, Diva Robin.
Well, I would love to hear from people, and my email address is robin, ROBYN, artist, @gmail.com. My art website is robinjamison.com. That's ROBYNJAMISON. And I have a book about to be published, and another one that, as you heard tonight, that that won't be too long. And let's see, I'm available for coaching. I'm available for art commissions. If you live in Austin, I also teach piano. Anyway, a little of this and a little of that, you know. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ronnie B. Ronnie B.
OldGrumpyRadio.com.
Thank you so much. For more information about our workshops and seminars, once again, visit us at prosperousdivas.com. Tonight, Prosperous Divas are Jacqueline Brown, Janice Hollis, Robin Jamison, Nakia Franklin, myself, Nikki Chaplin, and of course we had the gentleman with us, Ronnie B. Please enjoy the performance at the end of the seminar tonight, and remember, Prosperous Diva said that prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone. We'll see you next week. Be great.